Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my alien baby, Nate.
Maybe there is something wrong with Brendan.
There is. His name's Brendan. That's what's wrong with him.
Brandon.
Is it? Well, I thought it was Brendan.
No.
He's Brandon.
Brandon.
You know what? Brands in general have had a bad year so far.
Have they?
Well, he did. Well, I mean,
Not really. If
I
you
guess
think
you're
about
right.
it, it's
You know
the
what?
opposite. Yeah.
yeah, I'm batting a big 1,000 in sucking here.
Our
so.
pop culture is getting a lot of brand in its diet this year.
Oh, God. All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror film and we debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually not what we would call a horror movie fan. We have given Lisa the week off. I'm sure you're all disappointed. It's just me and Nate. But it's not just me and Nate. We do have returning from your vision quest in space and back, Taylor.
Wow.
Welcome
That
back.
sounds. Wow.
Yeah, thanks for taking me into your studio and not leaving me out in the woods.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for using a red beacon to help us find you, because that would have not happened otherwise.
Yeah, and setting off all the motion detectors.
Does that mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean that Mitch and I are your parents? What is happening with this reference?
Well,
I wasn't thinking that deep, Nate. You just made it weird.
yeah. Yeah. Way to go, Nate.
If this is Brightburn, Mitch is the one who'll betray you first.
That sounds right. I definitely sided with the dad a lot in this one. So by popular demand, you wanted it, you got it.
Why does everyone want Brightburn? I don't even understand.
I mean, I don't know. I think because of the superhero movies are such a big part of movies nowadays, and now having one that's a horror movie, I don't know, that's a big deal.
I mean, have you ever heard of Blade? Just saying. It might have been a while.
Well, after after the third one,
I like I like all of them.
no.
We'll get into that.
Do you like the one with Triple H?
Yeah, it has Ryan Reynolds in it. He's hilarious.
That's a terrible one. Oh, Christ. So this week's movie of the week is Brightburn. So Taylor, we haven't had you in the studio in a while. Any horror? Have you checked out any new horror movies or?
Yikes! The cringing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Just bird documentaries.
I don't know.
Why?
If
She already
I've
knows
watched anything.
everything. What's the point? That was a waste of time. Jeez, Mitch.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, I saw the new Aladdin, which is definitely not a horror film.
Seems terrifying.
So my viewing experiences have been a lot less horrifying
Gotcha.
recently.
Those live action Disney movies look pretty creepy. We were just talking
Some of
about
them
Dumbo. We're thinking Dumbo looks pretty intense.
Yeah. Will Smith as the genie is
That's what I was gonna say.
not is something no one needs in their life. No one.
Was there a Genies Just Don't Understand song?
A what? A genies just don't understand now.
Did him and the
No.
Magic Carpet do just the two of us?
Getting Genie with it. This is way too easy.
God.
Brightburn.
Yeah,
All right.
Brightburn.
Brightburn's a
All right.
movie.
Well, welcome back, Taylor. And with that, we're going to get into this week's debate question of the week.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So the premise of this movie, I think, what really kind of stood out in the trailers is it's basically Superman's origin story, but then Superman becomes a big dick by the end of it. Like he's just like, yeah, instead of helping you, I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna just straight murder you
dick?
all. Yeah.
Is that what we're
Really
going
don't want
with
to.
now?
No, I really don't want to.
No?
That
Okay.
seems like a different kind of
That's
movie.
probably already copyrighted.
Yeah. Yeah. There's probably 20 of those already.
Yeah, that's true.
So, my question to you though is, I think twisted superhero origin stories are maybe an area of horror movies we should investigate more. So let me ask you, what's the next superhero origin story you think would be creepier than Brightburn? And Nate, we can kick it off with you if you like.
I have a couple, but my first instinct was Aquaman. We all know that I don't like Aquaman.
We do know because you've brought it up multiple times since that one ill-fated flight.
I don't like Aquaman. So, Aquaman, I hate that movie. Basically, imagine if Aquaman goes back to the seas and just starts fucking with humanity. Right? He's making tsunamis. He's getting animals. Like maybe, like what if they retcon Jaws? Jaws doesn't even go after the teens until Aquaman's like, ooh, go get them. Then the prom gets canceled. Whose fault is it? Aquaman. You're welcome.
There's
go.
A lot to unpack.
Yes. All the tourism gone because of Aquaman.
I just feel like in the end,
is Aquaman?
Look, I just feel like in the end we're going to beat Aquaman because the oceans will dry up because of global warming.
But Aquaman, like, okay,
give us a few.
Have you seen the movie Aquaman? Most of the movie is not in the water, so he's fine. He's in the he's literally in the desert for like a third of the movie. But like most of his powers of being able to conjure up like crab warriors and shit isn't gonna, he's not gonna be able to do that if the oceans are dried up. One time we were at,
it's just gonna be him fighting.
One time we were in Galveston and a crab like slashed my mom's foot. Was it Aquaman? See, that's what I'm saying. He started getting his blood. Everything's Aquaman. Are you trying
to suggest that you've had a blood feud with Aquaman for?
You know what? I've repressed it, but now it's all coming back to me. Yes, Aquaman and I are sworn enemies from years ago because he injured my mom's leg. So now,
do you think that's going to make it into the origin story? Like,
now the truth's out there.
Like he did it on purpose.
Because I wonder if Aquaman like goes to school normally.
Yeah. And
then they're like, oh, where does he go after school? I'm like, oh, and then he just goes
to
in
fish school.
He goes to fish night school.
Yeah.
And it's one of those fish that has like the deep water fish that has like the glowing thing.
Sure.
And then he's like reading under it, like at night, like studying up. Oh my God, it's this thing writes itself. But what is it called? I don't know. Fish Kid.
Fish. I don't even know what to say.
School of Hard Fish. Damn it. A school of fish.
You need to stop taking your cold medicine or whatever before the podcast. I don't know
you're saying a bottle of NyQuil is not good.
I mean,
okay, good enough.
only if you're operating heavy machinery.
Beat Aquaman. What do you got?
For beat Aquaman. All right. I thought about this. What would be scarier than Superman killing everyone, right? For me, what if you take your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Yeah.
But instead of him just having spider powers, he just becomes a monstrous like spider person, like with fangs and the arms, the 8 arms, and just basically kills everyone.
So it's 8-legged freaks.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
It's the end of Wild Wild West.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. About this.
To be fair, maybe I'm channeling because maybe I'm projecting because I want to go see the new Godzilla movie. So maybe that's why I'm in kaiju mode. Yeah. I mean, you could do the other option. You could do, and if I'm about to take yours, you tell me, Taylor. I won't take it. But you could make Captain America. But what if it was the Nazis?
Okay.
That made the super soldier? I mean, Hydra wins, right? Like
Captain Ubermensch.
Yeah, I don't know what captain is in German, but yeah, go with that.
Captain? I don't know. My German is rough.
Then a captain.
I was just there. I did not pick up the word for captain. No. Yeah.
You can rap in Hungarian, but not figure out how to say captain in German.
That's correct. Yes.
Very useful skill set. Nate.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, those are my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Spider-Man. We're
fine. I'll stick with my Captain Hitler. Taylor.
Wow, what high bars you both have set. And somehow I'm probably still going to fall beneath it, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm struggling a lot with this one. I realized when you asked this question, I don't actually know a lot of superhero origin stories. I was like, I've seen a lot of superhero films, but thinking back, I was like, I don't even remember how most of these superheroes came to be besides like someone they love died and then they just became a superhero.
Which is pretty shitty if you think about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Okay, I got another one. What if Batman was really the good son with Macaulay Culkin? He killed his own parents.
You son of a bitch, Nate.
Yes.
I have been holding off on mentioning the good son because I was going to bring it up later about this movie.
No,
so
got
fuck
it.
you. God
got it.
Damn it. Anyway, go ahead, Taylor.
What's a super? Okay, we'll help you work backward.
Yeah.
What's a superhero that what's one of the ones that you like the most or whatever?
Well, see, I like a lot of superheroes, but I also feel like in so many of the movies, there's like already a foil for some of them. Like there's the evil version of like a counterpart. You know what I mean? In like some because if you think about like Thor, it's Loki. Like that's kind of the evil version, even though they're a little bit different. Or like Gamora, it's like
Thor could
Nebula.
literally. What if Thor is just like going to high school and someone's just like, Thor, you suck, and then it's like lightning bolt, like you're dead.
I don't know. Thor's just a frat boy for most of the first couple. He's still kind of he's back to being that now, right? I can just see that happening now.
What if Thor starts good? Okay. He goes his whole life. He's training like this huge training montages. He's training. He's bulking up for the hammer throw in the Olympics. Okay. He gets in the hammer throw. He gets second place by like a millimeter. And then he just starts killing everyone with lightning in the entire stadium.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They're making an Angry Birds movie. All right, come on. I mean,
well, that's fair.
Right? I mean, I don't know.
So I do have one.
Okay.
So I'm taking some inspiration from the book Born by Jeff Vandermeer.
Okay.
Which probably very few people have read, but that's okay. And combining it with Baymax from Big Hero 6. And basically,
oh my gosh,
for those who have not read Born, basically there's this creature that like as he eats things, he gets bigger and bigger. Imagine Baymax. That like with every kill, he just like grows and grows and grows. And then he's like this giant thing that could just like lay down and suffocate a city. Because he's like,
okay.
That's tight. Actually, I like that.
Kind of like the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Dude.
Yeah. But
bigger.
And continuing to grow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. That might actually be the winner. over your weird thing with Aquaman. and then my Captain Hitler. Yeah, I think that one's probably going to be winner. But if you have a different one, you should totally let us know. You can email us at texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at TXPodMassacre and Texas Podcast Massacre on the rest of the socials.
I agree. Aquaman can never win, so I retract mine.
You can't retract. Anyway, that said, let's get into this week's movie of the week, Brightburn.
Mom, who am I? You are a gift. You came here for a reason. I know you feel different from other kids.
Hey, don't get my hand up.
You are different.
What are you doing?
Hey, who's messing with me?
Maybe there is something wrong with Brandon.
Leave me alone!
Whatever you've done, I know there is good inside you.
Tori! You're safe now. We got it.
Brightburn. Fan requested.
Multiple Twitter, emails.
Yeah.
Brightburn. I don't. What?
I'm glad it wasn't Ma.
See, I would. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Taylor, unsuspecting victim. What do you describe this movie? What's the elevator pitch for this one?
I mean, it sounds generic, and I think that's how everyone describes it, but it's like evil Superman. Except as a kid, he's grown up on the farm in Kansas, and instead of striving for good, he decides to just start murdering anyone who pisses him off.
Yes.
After a spaceship blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Nate, what can you tell us about this one?
Brightburn. It released May 24th, 2019. Tight 90 minutes. Felt longer. IMDb 6.5. Tagline, he's not here to save the world. I don't.
That's all right.
I don't get this movie in that they don't even try to make it a twist. There's like, this guy's bad.
Yeah.
So you already know the ending. I kind of don't like how I was hoping they would play it like.
I mean, I don't know.
He has the nature versus the nurture.
Yeah.
And he's fighting to see where it'll go. And this movie's just like, nah, he's an alien. It's fine. The budget was only $7 million. It's already made about 16. So it's got its money back. Do you think there will be a sequel to this? My guess is no. But
I think no. I think they set up where they could pursue it, but I just think it'd be boring after. Like, I don't know how they'd make that interesting.
Like, are you like tank shooting at this kid? Like, yeah, what?
Yeah,
I don't know.
because they already showed like he's so overpowered that.
He's like, hey, doesn't like Thanos? Does Thanos need a sidekick? Like, maybe I can do that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Captain Marvel could like. Maybe they could go head to head, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's just like laser beam eyes the whole like, and there's just like no one's gaining an inch either way. And it's like that's the whole movie. Sounds great. Director David Yorevsky. This is his like kind of first major film.
Okay.
He directed Guardians of the Galaxy Inferno video short. He was a Ravager in Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie was written by the two non-James Gunn brothers, Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn, and then James Gunn produced it. So a lot of guns. You'll notice a lot of people from like Guardians of the Galaxy were in the movie also.
Yeah.
Like Steve Agee and Michael Rooker was there at the end. So this guy, they got it. He directed Brightburn. He directed that Guardians of the Galaxy thing. He directed Belko VR, an escape room experiment, I believe related to the Belko experiment, a VR game.
Oh, God.
He directed something called The Hive, 2 episodes of the TV show Team Unicorn. Mitch, you are a Korn fan.
Different Korn.
No, he directed the music video Hater for Korn.
Sorry, I thought you were literally talking. You were trying to shorten the Unicorn show. You were just talking about.
Wow, this guy has got. He did Team Unicorn, then the Korn video.
Okay,
a lot of Korn.
I thought you just shortened it inexplicably. This makes more sense now.
I thought he was transitioning to talk about Kansas.
Do you know the song Hater by Korn?
Yes.
How is it?
Not good.
Not good. Okay. You are a hater. Got it.
I am a hater.
In this movie,
New Korn.
In this movie, we got Elizabeth Banks. Yeah, she was in another James Gunn movie, Slither, classic horror, gross horror film that had Michael Rooker in it also.
Yeah, that's right. It
did. She was in every 2000s comedy ever. You got 30 Rock. You got Scrubs. She was in The Uninvited. You saw that movie? The horror movie, Uninvited? From
yeah.
Like
I've actually seen that
5
one
years
too.
ago. Okay, yep. She's in there. Obviously, Hunger Games. She was in Happy Time Murders, which I still haven't seen with the puppet one.
Didn't it win a Razzie?
Probably multiple. What Hot American Summer. And she's directing the upcoming Charlie's Angels movie.
Interesting. Yeah, she directs quite a bit.
And Pitch Perfect too. She directed as well.
Yeah.
Then as her husband, we got Roy from The Office.
Yeah.
Obviously. David Denham. He was in The Office, 13 Hours. Logan Lucky. Shudder, the horror film US version, which is garbage compared to the original. He's in The Replacements, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. He was in the 2005 TV pilot for Night Stalker, based on Kolchak, the Night Stalker from the 70s. And who was Kolchak? None other than Queen of the Damn Zone, Stuart Townsend. The second actress in that movie was Gabrielle Union, and it went for a shockingly small 10 episodes.
Is it really shockingly?
Yes.
Nate?
This is like a 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with Queen of the Damned. And him and Elizabeth Banks were both in the 2017 Power Rangers movie, which I know you loved, Mitch. So.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
There you go. And only a little bit of trivia for this one. The school they filmed at was the same school they filmed the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. At. So there you go.
All right.
Kansas, Indiana. Same thing.
Good on you, school, for getting those tax breaks.
Yeah, really. It's like the hospital that Scrubs was at. Like, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of places filmed there. Just do the same thing.
Yeah. So let's get into kind of overall impressions. Taylor, as our unsuspecting victim, what did you overall think about this one? Yeah,
really.
It's a hard one to like.
It's a hard one to
definitively speak on because it had some things that I think actually worked fairly well, but then like, would I recommend it to people? I don't know. I am undecided still. Maybe as we talk about it, I'll reach a decision on that.
So didn't burn quite bright enough for you?
No, I will say though, it had more gore than I expected from the
it
trailer.
Did. That's true.
Yeah.
Which I found horrible, but I don't know. I liked that it wasn't really. I didn't find it that predictable, so I kind of liked that, but I didn't really know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even once you started to kind of figure out how things were going to play out, you didn't really know kind of all the details. So that was good.
Yeah. No, I agree a good bit with that. I think I have my limit in terms of how high or low I'll rate this movie at the end of this when we get to the final cut, but I'm not there yet. I don't quite know what it's going to be.
Okay.
I agree. So some of the things, the acting is superb. I thought I thought a lot of the kill scenes, the effects, the gore I thought that was to its benefit, that it wasn't just like, that they hit that. My biggest worry going to this movie was that the trailer showed the scariest part of the movie with him flying through into the meat locker. It didn't. That's what I was happy about.
Okay.
So the execution overall of the movie is good. I have some issues with some of the writing. With some of the setup for really. I think the actual plot and the story's fine. I think some of the setup and some of the how we're trying to get you there didn't make a lot of sense to me, and we'll get into it. But that's sort of what's holding me off. What about you, Nate?
Ooh, I was not a big fan of it. I just did not care about this kid at all. Didn't care about him.
You would have left him in the woods.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
With the wolves.
I'd have been like, to be honest, something crashes. Like you have it's almost like an earthquake. Power goes out. Everything's shattering. You see this like alien spaceship and you just go, oh yeah, there's a kid in there. That's cool. Nah. The movie, for me, it's a short film. That happens. And then I just go, nope. And then it's like, all right, going back inside. That's it.
I kind of liked that though, because that's basically how Superman plays out. Like actually, and I mean, it's super weird that these people on this farm are just like, yeah, I'll take in this random kid, not knowing any, like literally this kid from space, not like knowing anything about it.
Well, at least
look, we've watched too many horror films. This is what it is.
Sure.
Something comes from space. My immediate thought is at least slightly negative, if not very negative.
Yeah, but y'all didn't think
maybe
they did.
That's what I'm thinking.
Did y'all think they did a good job of at least setting up? I mean, to me, I thought at least it made sense, right? I thought they established that they had been trying, that they were having a lot of difficulty.
How many fertility books do you need to buy? I think maybe that was the issue. You're buying too many fertility books.
Yeah,
maybe spend your money on something else that you guys both
maybe
enjoy.
spend less time reading the fertility books.
Yeah,
one more time.
I mean, you don't need a whole shelf in a wide bookcase of fertility books.
No, but I mean,
so they have a library in this town, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
given that, do you at least forgive them just straight up picking up this kid, or was it still just?
No, I get it. It's just I would never do it.
Yeah. Well,
there are a lot of things I would never do.
Strike one. Strike two. My kid eats a fork. I'm gonna kill that kid.
How?
He eats
What?
Once the kid is chewing on a fork and breaks the fork and is like not responding, I'm already thinking about killing the kid already. I'm killing the kid like a third of the way into the movie.
You're like Abraham, but you're like, don't worry, God, I'll just take care of it. You don't need to ask.
I record my own voice and play. Oh, I guess I got to do it. I don't know. I guess. No, my kid chews on a fork, is breaking it and not responding to me. I'm already planning.
What if it's a
murder.
shitty fork? I don't know.
It was a metal fork. Okay, straight.
But
metal.
like, is it one of those like Chinese metal?
No,
forks
they probably
that are
cast
like,
it like they probably it's probably cast iron like from the 1800s. Knowing this, whatever this farm was, it was ridiculous. No, I hated the kid from the get go. No sympathy at all. I knew he was evil, so I had no investment whatsoever.
I just think it's very fortunate for this kid that he landed in Kansas, because this shit would not have flown in like New York or Houston. No one's adopted that shit.
What? What do you mean?
No, I don't know. It just all these alien land stuff is always in these small town USA remote locations.
See, look, you and I are the perfect like demographic for this. We just had kids not too long ago. We have young kids, right? And so in theory, I would be the person to go, oh, I get it. No, I never got it with this. They never made me empathize with the kid in any way. So I just hated it.
Yeah, you know, and I wonder too.
Like they pushed the kid down and I was like, yes.
But you know what?
Do it.
I think that's part of the problem with the movie is that I don't think that was ever the intent. I think the intent of this movie was to make you, it was more the focus on the mom. Was supposed to be. And I don't know that they really did a super successful job at that. This movie really is more like The Good Son than any superhero thing.
That's true.
The premise of him being an alien really has very little bearing except for the fact that he just has these special powers. But really, this movie could have done the exact same thing. You take the powers, he's just a serial killer. He just fucking likes hurting animals and wants to kill everyone. And the story is how as a parent do you see these things in your kid and either be in denial
rationalize
about it,
them
right.
Look. There's one part where because of the kid, like he murders and like turns inside out like a bunch of chickens. Okay, and the mom's like, "It was a wolf." To me, that's worse than like in a horror movie when you like run upstairs instead of out the front door.
Yeah,
like that's like cognitive dissonance. I can't even like imagine.
Yeah,
like you see all these dead. Look at these. Look at this. You're a Kansan. They're all from Kansas. They never left. She knows what a wolf's like. I was just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. Taylor, what do you think?
It might be that I just haven't seen as many horror films. I was willing to let this movie get away with a lot, I feel like. Just because I do think it was an interesting premise. And I think I felt like a lot of what they did was kind of, like Mitch was saying, meant to make you question kind of other things, like not necessarily like, I don't know, that all the plot points were like 100% like supposed to be believable. I think they were kind of like, definitely. You see this thing and like, how would you react to it? And also like, you didn't actually see the kid do it. We all know he did it. But like, as a parent, are you going to like accept that? Are you like, I don't know. I think there were some things that were more meant to be thought-provoking, or at least that's how I took it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just thought,
and it would have been better. I would have appreciated maybe if one of the parents didn't know that it was a fucking alien baby.
Oh,
and that way it's a little bit more, that way when it's like
we got a kid now.
Like what if? Well, that's like we adopted this kid was left alone on the side of the road or something, right? I mean, just whatever.
So like I found this kid when I was coming back, and I like.
Because then the deniability makes a little more.
Someone must have got rid of it. I grabbed it, and the mom, because the mom did it, and then the dad doesn't know. That actually would. Because
I think for your issue with it, you're like, she knows he's a fucking alien. Why would she know? If she didn't, what if Roy's the only one that knows? And that's why he's like, it's the fucking kid. We need to take care of this.
And then that splits them up even more when he tells. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Love it. See, that automatically makes the movie.
So if this movie was like Raising Arizona, like they just steal a baby from the hospital and then he starts doing all this stuff. Yeah. That would be more believable. Yeah, I agree. I think it's
like Elizabeth Banks walks into the woods, throws down a fertility book. She's so frustrated. Yeah. All of a sudden she's like, ooh, what's this thing? Oh, hey.
I guess it would make more.
Found a kid.
I guess it would make better sense if she, in this scenario she had found him and Roy didn't know.
And then he's like, what's wrong?
Because I've got a suggestion for the end scene that kind of ties with this.
Okay.
So we'll get to that later. One last question before we kind of get into some of the plot points. And because it's a new movie, we'll do this is our spoiler free part. And
we've already kind of just.
It's fine. Never mind. If you
haven't seen Brightburn already, you're probably not going to see it.
Yeah. I'm assuming that people who asked us to do this have already seen it.
Yes, that's what I assume.
Or the one know if they should. I don't know. Anyway, so here's my question. And again, I think Nate, this is another point you brought up that I was kind of struggling with. He is. I mean, just straight up, he's evil. Like, there's evil.
They put it. It's in the tagline.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? I mean, yeah, is that necessarily a bad thing? Especially if it's not to make you feel sympathy, because so much of I think what has been big in pop culture and big in TV and movies has been this sort of moral gray, right? Like I really walked in this movie expecting it to be, oh, he's getting his ass kicked every fucking day by kids.
Then he snaps.
And then he does something to the fence, and you're like, well, yeah, because he was being bullied. And then everything sort of has that weird justification of like, well, he's reacting. And then when the parents can see that, and then it's not like so black and white. That puts in the moral gray. Now they didn't want to do that. They wanted it to be very clear. No, he's hearing voices and becoming evil. Yeah. Okay.
I'm evil now.
Yeah.
He heard like some chanting and some like light up shoes in the bar, and we're going off. And then he's like, oh, I'm evil now.
So I guess my question is, are we just expecting movies now to have that kind of moral gray? Like, I mean, I don't know. Does that kind of change how you kind of see some horror movies if they are just you just know they're evil versus, oh, do you prefer having that sort of question, everything sort of being, how well can you perceive that, right?
Sure. Yeah, I get it. I think for this one, I would like it better because
you want more of the moral gray.
Like I said, so the kid changing is supposed to be a big event, but it didn't really feel like a big event to me. Like he went to the barn, there's a lot of lights flashing, and then like a bunch of weird language was happening, and then he was evil.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely.
I didn't
build
feel.
It
yeah, exactly.
Before that, like it just happened. Like Act 1 of this film was so quick. Like before he like becomes this evil thing, and I felt like that made it hard for me too to like because they didn't even develop like the dad's relationship with the kid until well after the kid was evil. Like, and the one time you were kind of like, well, was dad ever on board with this? Is when he's looking through all the artwork, and you're like, oh, I guess he does love this kid, but you don't ever feel that until then because he's like 1 foot out the door. So it's like, I just felt like if they'd set him up as being a regular kid to begin with, or like seeming like a regular kid, it would have helped a lot. But he was just always doing weird stuff. Like he'd be kind of normal, and then he'd like do something super creepy. Then they'd rationalize
like
it.
The wasp,
and then
these wasps are predators, and they bully the other ones to like host their larvae. I'm like, what is happening?
I actually really liked the use of that metaphor in the film, except I didn't like how exposition-y they made that plot point. Like they could have done something with that. Yeah. I don't know. It was cool, but
I mean, can we agree the best acting was Elizabeth Banks in the movie? Can we agree on this?
Yeah, I thought the acting was fine in the movie.
The dad, he was good too.
The dad was good.
Actually, the dad was probably
there really was no. I mean, hell, even Weasel was fine in this movie. I mean, I thought the acting was fine. I mean, again, throughout the movie itself, from kind of start to finish, in terms of as he's getting more comfortable with his powers, as the kill scenes are happening, I thought was very well done and very good. It was tense. I just think there's some elements around what were they trying to really get us to think about?
Everything around that felt hollow to me. Yeah. But let's get into the kills, because some of the kills were pretty good.
They were all really good.
I think we could all agree on that.
They're all great kills.
I think there was a lot of clumsiness to like get to certain things that like, oh hell, like we got to get to this. Okay, whatever. He's stalking some little girl and they go camping or whatever. Who cares? All right, now let's go attack some lonely lady in this diner.
Well, let's talk about first the breaking of the hand before we get into
the hand. It wasn't a break. It was a hand like crunch.
Yeah.
I think before we talk about those things, we should talk about the inciting incident for those moments, which was the sex talk while hunting from the dad. After he's like, you can't have a gun, but I'm going to take you out hunting.
It's not about organs.
God. As soon as he said the phrase, like, sometimes you get urges and it's okay to satisfy them. I was like, all of that phrasing, like, this kid's going to go murder everyone.
But Nate, I agree with you. I've seen enough horror movies and true crime shit to know that if I see pictures of organs,
it's over. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I saw the pictures of the organs and the fork, oh my God. Oh my God. This kid is getting murdered.
Your fixation with the fork is really interesting to me. That was like one of the less concerning
unnatural.
ones.
It's so unnatural and terrible.
I feel like
hate
chewing on a fork is something a real kid might do.
Yeah, it's a weird hill to die on.
No, it was like getting in there. He was getting in there.
But like,
have you never used your fork for a toothpick? My God.
Why would I do that? You know what I use as a toothpick? A toothpick, Rich. Jesus.
I'm just saying, Nate. Sometimes you can't get to a toothpick very quick.
That wasn't a fork. Is that a Louisiana toothpick?
A little bit.
Is that what you're talking about?
A little bit. No, I agree with you, Taylor. The fork is a weird. I mean, the organs is made like pictures of like the
you combine that for me. That's 100%.
Why do you shouldn't need to combine it, Nate? There's organs.
The fork got me to 85%, and then the organs got me to 100.
The fact that you were like the fork is the one that would make me want to kill the kid. I was thinking the organs. The chicken incident, even before he kills the chickens, when they're out there just freaking out, I was like, nope, done with this.
No,
kid.
for as smart as this kid is, and we need to get back to the sex talk, but before
it's not just about organs. It's like a quote.
This kid is supposed to be like super intelligent, but he decided to do his little symbol as his initials.
No, was it his initials or was it for Brightburn?
I think it was Brandon Breyer.
I think it was for Brendan Breyer.
Okay.
Because he actually wrote it, Brendan Breyer, in the notebook.
Maybe he likes the number 8, but he's like really bad with curves.
It's like that. It's like that shitty S everyone used to draw.
That's
what I'm saying. He's just really bad with curves, so he has to do like the little straight lines.
Well, I liked
instead.
that because I was like, that's like a thing you do in like elementary school is like draw all the kids are like drawing all the S's like real bad. He's like, I gotta have my superhero symbol.
Mitch,
and like,
so I think it's supposed to be a wasp. Because if you look at his face mask, you know how it has the little like snout sort of thing right there, which I thought was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be a wasp. I think that's sort of and that would tie into this little comment in science class about, some wasp species, send their larvae to get raised by other unsuspecting.
But he couldn't call himself the wasp, or he might be a character in Ant-Man.
Yeah. He was Ant-Man.
Right.
He was Ant-Man.
Oh fuck! What if Ant-Man's coming?
No, he was Ant-Man in Endgame. He was the young.
Was he really?
Dude.
Oh, he's really cornering the market on bug related roles.
Superhero insects.
Yeah.
Give me or arthropods, whatever. Sign me up.
Is this Ant-Man's origin story?
Termite boy.
I'm waiting for Super Crab. When is Super Crab coming out?
Super Crab comes in the texture bomb.
No, Super Crab, arch nemesis of Aquaman. I'm rooting for Super Crab. Let's do it.
All right. So this sex talk. So they're hunting. And he decides, I'm going to have the talk with him.
Because we saw there was bras, pictures of with women in bras.
Victoria's Secret catalog.
There was an open stomach of organs, like 2 pictures of that. And what else was in there? It was just
actual photos of the open photo. There was like an anatomy diagram.
And there was an anatomy diagram, and then just straight up gutted animals and people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then it tied in at the end too.
My talk would have been like, well, you know what? The insane asylum will take great care of you. How about that? They don't give metal forks in the insane asylum.
Wait, Nate, hold on. You see organs and you're like, insane asylum, chewing a fork. He's dead. Fuck this kid, killing him. What?
I'm telling you, I'm softening my stance.
At the best, maybe it should be reversed.
In the insane asylum, they probably don't have metal forks. So maybe we can wean them off the metal forks.
Because those are the biggest problem, clearly, with this kid is the fork chewing.
I apologize to Amanda. Good.
I was gonna go home and just dump all the forks in the trash.
One day,
that's how I'm gonna literally.
One day when your kid's older, I'm gonna get him to chew on a fork, and I'm just gonna just wait for you to lose your shit.
He breaks the fork and he's fine.
I'm gonna hand him a broken fork. You're not gonna see it. He's gonna switch it out. But I want you to lose your shit.
Okay, so like,
I'll point and be like, your dad's gonna murder you.
There's two. There's two ends of the spectrum. I see this guy, the breaking the fork eating, and then on the opposite side of the coin, there's the Matrix kid who's bending the spoons. Okay, there's two sides.
So spoons are okay.
Yeah, I think spoons are okay.
What is the show?
Nate now has a phobia of forks. On the record, let it be known.
What in the fuck is going on in this episode?
I don't know. I do not know.
All right.
Welcome back, Taylor.
I'm not getting back into the sex talk again. So they have it. It's weird. He mentions that you can play with it. He goes, "What's it?"
You can touch it or play with it.
Yeah.
I will say, I love the kid's response to every single time his parents try to like reach out to him in an emotional way, and he just goes, "Okay." I love that.
Hey son, let's rap. I'm busting that one out when little Damien's older.
Touch it.
Oh God! Wait, just hand it with a bop it, but you only touch just
it.
One button.
Pull it, twist it. God damn it!
That's how I plan on having this.
And then you bop it. Oh my God, that's the worst.
Don't bop it.
Is that what bop it is? Is that a sex education thing? And I never knew that.
Don't ruin bop it, please.
Spin it.
Twist it.
So I think we were working towards talking about the kills.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yes, I think we were. So okay, so he does creep on this one girl.
It's not good when the unsuspecting victim's like, let's get to the kills. Yeah. Can we get to the kills now?
He creeps on the one girl who was nice to him, so you know.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Which during the movie, Taylor leaned over, she goes, what is it that you said? It was, man, at least she's like in his good graces or something. I'm like, that seems really shitty. I'd rather he just kill me. He's like, broken my hand, he's gonna murder my mom. That's not
gonna murder.
Well, at the time.
When I said that statement, it was after he'd like visited her when she's got the cast on her arm.
He's like, I'm special. Oh, Jesus.
And then she's like, my mom says I shouldn't talk to you. And he goes, I'm going to take care of that. And I was like,
oh, no. Yep.
Like, at least he's not taking care of you, I guess.
I don't know why she didn't call the police and be like, hey, can someone go check on my mom real quick?
That was her cell phone hand. So she could, maybe.
No.
Also, the fact, so, I mean, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but the fact that, but we're on the topic of the girl. So the police officers, when they went to the diner afterwards, and I really want to hear Nate's opinions about the cops in this film, but then the police officer was like, yeah, the girl was really torn up. She could only say 2 words. And then they never said what the 2 words were, which I assume were Brandon Breyer. But I was like, they literally just like said that line and then just left it hanging. And I was like,
what did she
no
say?
cop's going to ask like, well, what'd she say?
What did she said? The wasps. Or what if she said like?
She could have said any other 2 words. I assume it was Brandon Breyer.
What if she just said my hand?
She said the forks.
But like she couldn't have like said, oh, I don't know. Like, because that's the thing. It's like the girl could have alerted the cops. She clearly spoke to the cops and told them probably Brandon Breyer, but we don't know because they just said she spoke 2 words and didn't confirm what they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really bothering me now. I hadn't thought about it until now.
What's bothering Nate
really
is that
bothering me.
when Brandon went to the diner, he ate all the forks and then murdered the mom. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
The murder of Erica.
Hold on.
The mom.
If he stopped to eat all the forks, then murdered her.
Well, I mean,
the forks is the more disturbing part. Okay.
Of this murder scene? No, I do not believe so.
Nope. This one is pretty intense.
It's the first one too.
It was crazy.
So you knew when you saw it, it was like, oh, cool. This is the scene from the trailer with him flying, which was still awesome. Even seeing it,
it was pretty good.
But was not expecting the eye scene. So fluorescent light shatters. A shard gets stuck in the eye, and they are in painfully.
Well, she's already flipping out
because
he did the the classic blow on the glass. BB symbol 8,000 million times on every single surface. things start shaking, things start whatever. Now, Taylor, you're saying now these lights are ruined forever for you.
They are ruined forever.
Because they shatter, a thing goes into her eye. She looks up into the shattering glass.
I can't do eye things. No, I would have been back. I feel like, I don't know, because I was thinking about this. I was like, I feel like I would have done this, but now after this movie, I definitely would do this. If I saw a light shaking, I'm not going to go stand under it and look up at it. I am running because I don't want that glass in my eye. That was traumatizing. To me, that was the nope moment. Not the fork, the glass in the eye. I was out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was pretty intense. And then she's still just trying to work it.
She doesn't pull it out in the first attempt.
They focus on it for a while, and then when she does it, like the blood splurt right
now,
after. I was
the most inventive part of the entire movie, in my personal opinion, is what comes after that. Mm-hmm. So the camera is then half red to signify that her eye is bleeding, but she still can kind of see a little bit, like a little bit.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. That was really good.
Getting chased, and the guy and the kid's here, and then he's there, and he's like moving around,
and she can't see it that well. Like that was good.
That was great. Yeah. Best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Then she's like, okay, I'll hunker down in the ice chest or like the freezer area, which seems pretty reinforced, so not a bad move. Nah, he laser beams the door in half, a la almost Shining-esque, and then like, how would you say, super fast jump? How do you even describe this? Into her. How would you call it? Like, it was like almost like the Flash.
It was like a whoosh.
He flew, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a flash.
But he didn't like really fly. It was like it was kind of like this, like a fast jump. Or was it a fly?
I thought he flew.
Oh, okay. Well,
flies. That's his thing.
Oh, that's true.
All right. So, what were some other deaths that really stuck out to you? Or because to me they were all.
I gotta point out the dad. This is my guy. This is my guy for the movie. The dad's like, look, I gotta kill this kid. Should have after the fork. I should have, but that's fine. Better late than never. Then he takes him out hunting because it's like, well, the kid's probably like, well, I'll go hunting as long as we don't have another sex talk, which they didn't, so that was fine. Gets the kid, shoots him straight in the back of the head.
Yeah, well done. I mean, he's
crying.
The kid jerks
does
his head
it
the right way. It looks
shoots him in the back of the head. It does nothing. All of a sudden, he just floats right in the air. The dad's running away, reloads the gun, and then he gets sideswiped, and he just laser beams through his eyes out the back of his head.
Yeah. It was intense. Here's my only real problem with this scene. If you're gonna shoot the kid, and you gotta at least think that maybe this could go south. Right.
Yes, you gotta have a backup plan.
If your kid has seen you try to murder, at no point you gotta just know that begging for mercy is not gonna like get you anywhere. Like, oh no, I'm dead.
Yeah, that really bothered me.
I think he knew it, but it was still scary. I think he knew he was dead if it didn't work, but he was still scared when he's like, oh fuck! Like, imagine that's coming at you. I mean, even if you're kind of resigned to it, it would still suck. I might as well run if you're already dead. Why not?
Well, the running made sense. It's when he was like there and the kid like had him and he's like, please don't do it. Please don't kill me.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You know, it's like
no,
I made a mistake of shooting you in the back of the head.
Yeah, I made a mistake of trying to kill you. Like, and I tried to kill you. Like, you didn't even wait for to pretend he was shooting.
What
if
he played it off like, oh my God, did you see that guy behind me? Like, what if he tried to like play it off like it was an accident or someone else?
Brandon Breyer is gonna fall for that.
It's like, Dad, a wasp wouldn't do this. Laser beams just right through. I don't know.
Man, the worst one
that was crazy. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. The worst death to me in terms of like just like
and hold on.
Shout out. Oh, good.
And at the end, I guess the lady he took her and then like gutted her open. Also, to end that. So that not only that, then she gets gutted at the end.
Yeah,
I know that was horrible. Well, but it tied back to his whole like fascination with the organs because I saw her stomach cut up and I was like, that's horrifying, but also like they kind of foreshadowed it. But
what? Oh, never mind. I don't want to. No. Not going there.
The truck death.
I hated that. That one freaked me out because I'm like,
there's a lot of good ones in this movie.
That one wasn't scary because of necessarily what Brandon did, but because of like the gore factor and thinking about if you got in a car accident that could happen.
Now he snaps the chick's hand in like a jillion places. It was crunch. It was like you just like took you took the plastic of like cereal out of the box and you start crinkling it. Like that's what her bones sounded like. It was really bad.
You got that kind of grip. I wouldn't, as a dad, be telling him he can play with it. You know, it just.
Well, maybe that's also got the same strength. What's the tensile strength?
No, keep going, Nate. Just move on.
Anyway, sorry, you're right. It's not about the organs. So, Jesus, this is so off the rails. So his aunt is the guidance counselor that he has to go to because he destroyed that girl's hand.
Yes,
who he has a crush on. Mm-hmm. Okay, then she's like, you don't even have any remorse. If this kid was smart, he would have played like he was sorry. And then he would have solved like half the problems of the movie.
But he didn't care. And because he knew
he was
so strong. Yeah. Like he knew
if he knew he was so strong, how come he didn't kill everybody then?
He literally did.
He's like, don't tell my mom. He literally said like, don't tell my mom.
You're like, why did he kill everyone? He spent the rest of the movie killing everyone.
But did she die? The aunt?
The aunt? Well, he got... Yeah,
see, that's what I'm saying. He didn't even kill her.
Unfocused because he then got distracted by her husband, which was the truck thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There. He was there, like spooking her out.
Okay,
and
so
was planning to kill her.
So he's talking
clearly.
trash, but he's not effective. Like he's talking more trash than he's like doing things because he's not fully in his power yet.
Yeah,
is that kind of what's going on then? It's like I'm better than you, but like I don't know how to use this quite yet.
I think it's because he got caught in the closet.
Yeah, he had
an R. Kelly situation.
God, this kid is just the creepiest.
Yeah.
Yeah. This kid's basically Harvey Weinstein, like in the making almost in this movie. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Harvey Weinstein chewing metal forks.
So then you got the uncle.
Yeah.
I love the uncle. He realizes the kid is whatever, and he just leaves his wife. He's just like, peace. I'm driving to go tell on this kid. Who cares what was happening to my wife? He just left the
kid back with his wife. Yeah, he just abandoned her. I was like, what?
Then of course he gets sideswiped. The kid picks up the truck. Now there was a really cool scene where he hit the kid, right, or whatever, and then he's hitting the dash to make the light go on and off. That was good.
That was really good.
Then it gets picked up and gets dropped. No airbags. This is an old truck. We're in Kansas. This is an old Kansas truck. And his jaw just goes right into the steering wheel. Put your hands out. He didn't even attempt to.
When the jaw fell out of his mouth.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to go the extra step.
So then the kid's like looking at him and then moves him a little bit. And then the jaw just comes off. That was nuts.
That was an image I will never get out of my head. Yeah. It was like
it was no joke.
Unexpected and just traumatizing.
Well, it wasn't just the jaw falling off. It was him holding it and trying to hold it in place.
Yeah,
that was the most disturbing part of it. Yeah. Weasel deserved better than what he got.
I agree.
But it was awesome.
But then it's so shitty how like the mom is like, oh well, he was drunk, like he's just dead, or like it was a wolf. Like she's really in denial about all of this stuff, which I kind of hate. After a while, it's like the 100th thing pushes you over the edge. It should have been like like the third thing or the fourth thing.
Yeah. At that point, it was a little. It was
too much.
I will say though, I really liked the dream sequence with the dad, where he was really good, and I think that was that worked well because the mom was still so enamored. Mm-hmm. Like if she had been turning on the kid already, I don't think that sequence would have worked.
No, agreed. Well, that's why I think I go back to had he never known about it,
then it'd be perfect. Yeah, it'd be really good.
Yeah. So let's get to the end of this movie. She has figured out that he's evil. The mom.
She gets the notebooks of just like
now real quick.
He draws out all the murders. Like, how old is he? 12 or something? Right? 12. He turns 12.
Yeah.
His drawings are like he's 5. He's not like, what is this kid doing? He's like drawing like it's like Insidious.
Yeah,
it's that level of kid drawing.
Yeah,
but describing all of the murders.
I thought the drawings weren't that bad. Really? I don't remember them being like a 5-year-old.
I thought they were.
I don't know, Mitch. Break this up.
Yeah, because you know 5-year-old drawings. How close are we?
I don't know. I just felt like they had I don't know. They were more detailed than like the ones he'd seen at the beginning of the movie.
You
like
sure?
they look. I think so, if I'm remembering correctly.
Once again, I feel bad for Nate's kid who's going to be in this constant
standards.
fear of never letting a fork stay in his mouth for longer than a second.
What if my kid draws like a really detailed fork?
Well, I'm gonna laugh. He's gonna bring you a picture, and be like, "This isn't good enough."
I mean, he drew an actual like woman with her eye out, and then the eyes like floating. I was like, it was all very discernible.
It was at least better than the painting that the teacher in Battle Royale does at the end of it.
That's fair.
You know,
well,
so,
that's a low bar.
That's a weird way to go. So he's terrorizing his mom at the house, which is also, I gotta at least give it this, right? It is scary. It is actually legit scary in that it's not something you see in horror movies in terms of in this context with
someone flying through
it.
That was crazy.
It's same sort of setup with like demons and the running through the house and ghosts are chasing you, but at least this is like, oh no, this fucking thing's going. And I think what really kind of sealed this when he takes out the police officer and he's just like, looks like he got hit by a fucking Mack truck.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, the one lady's face.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a gruesome.
With the gurgling.
Now, these cops. So, Taylor, you said these cops.
Yeah, I really want to hear your opinion about these cops.
The main sheriff guy. The guy's fantastic. That's like,
what I said.
It's the kid. The kid sucks. He's terrible. I know it's the kid.
And he found the connection so quick.
Yeah, like, I love this guy. From what it sounds like, he sucked because he had the promise. He knew what was happening. Apparently, he took no notes. So, no one knows that this kid did it by the end of the movie. Like the sheriff didn't write anything down or send one email.
That's why paperwork is so important.
Exactly. You got to document these things. You can't just do all this work. Then no one knows.
I mean, even the rest of this kid, and then he fucking would have walked.
Now, what is this kid's power with turning off electricity and like radios not working? What does he like reflect radio waves now? How can a radio not work?
He turned off the car too, didn't he?
Yeah. What? How?
I think he just can turn off technology. That's what I took
away. Wow. Superman can't turn off technology. He has to at least like freeze blow it or like lightning.
Superman can, however, reverse the direction of the Earth.
Fine. At least he's flying. He's doing something. I didn't like. But no, these cops.
That's the part you didn't like.
If they would have documented, if the guy would document everything and then tried to go to the house to see what was going on and got murdered because this kid is basically Superman, that's fine. But no, he didn't do that. So they. But
he got an emergency call that there's something happening at the Breyer house. And he's like, oh crap, I know that this kid's probably murdering everyone
where's
over there.
The initial backup? You need to have the backup on
me and my partner. Well, I guess
you're small town Kansas. I get it.
I mean, in some defense, right? He still thinks it's a 12-year-old kid.
Wait, how does her phone work to call 911? And then no, okay, that's ridiculous.
I will say the worst part of that entire sequence, like the one that made me just groan because it was like, oh, so lame, was when the second cop after the first cop's been killed is like in the hallway and she like sees him and she starts talking on her radio. She's like, I got eyes on him. But she's already looked away. And I'm like, he's gone. I was like, and then he's behind her. I was like, you don't look away from this kid for a second. You just saw him fly.
This is the most restraint I've ever seen from a cop ever. I mean, like you just saw your dude just get murdered. I mean,
she should have shot at him.
I would shoot anything. I would shoot shadows. Like I don't even know. Right? Like this house is exploding. Yeah, definitely. He's loading a shotgun up with forks, like packing them in. Like, all right, here we go.
So, okay, that makes me happy though, because I was watching it and I was like, he seems like one of the best cops I've ever seen in a horror film.
I wish
too soon.
I wish his notes would have gotten to like somebody in the FBI.
Well, they did. They got to what's his
Michael
name?
Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker. So let's talk about this ending because here's kind of where I was a little let down with the ending. I thought it was a fine ending.
You were let down,
right?
Yikes.
So Elizabeth Banks sort of remembers at the last minute, oh, something did cut him, and it was his ship,
the spaceship. So it's kind of like a Superman because the sun makes him more powerful.
Yeah.
So the things from his world can't hurt him. So I get it. It was.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So she decides to rip off a shard and then try to stab him.
Just one, no backups.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah. And then she goes to do it, but he catches her arm and then, kills her in a really not a much less brutal, but a much more terrifying way, where he flies her up straight into the fucking atmosphere and then just drops
like 30,000 feet.
Yeah,
she's dead before you get dropped. Yeah. So. you're dead. It's so cold.
So I would say it wasn't, that one wasn't scary to watch, but it was definitely more like personal. Like you betrayed me and I'm going to make you suffer for the next however long until you die. And then I'm going to drop you. Like,
I'm going to do what would I do differently for this? Maybe if I was Elizabeth Banks, I would have watched episode 3 of the last season of Game of Thrones, because it's a spoiler for Game of Thrones. So if you don't want to get Game of Thrones spoiled, fast forward like 1 minute. If you get caught here, you do the drop with the other hand move.
Oh God! There you go.
Then the movie's over, and then Earth is saved.
Here's what I would have done different with this ending. And again, I don't know that the ending was fine.
Well, no. So then the very ending is he drops her from 30,000 feet. That's where airplanes are, above clouds. Causes a plane to crash to like cover up all the tracks. Again, if he's so powerful, why does he keep covering up things? Wouldn't it have been just easier to like lie to people's faces rather than like make airplanes crash? I don't know. And then they're just like, oh, this kid's the only survivor somehow. They didn't check him in any way. And then he's just off to...
He's eating some cookies.
And then he's like, oh, I'm just going to take off some office buildings. And Michael Rooker's going to be a YouTube conspiracy theorist who is... I think... Was Aquaman in his montage?
You got to let Aquaman go, man.
He talked.
I don't know.
He said there was a dude in the ocean because he had like a kind of like there's like
it's true.
The flying guy was part of like 6 or 8 things in the background he was talking about.
Yeah, you got that witch and then
there was a witch. Yeah, there was a witch.
All I know is that his mama is not named Martha, so it's not going to save his ass when Batman shows up.
Yeah, Batman needs to take this guy.
Batman's murdering him because he's like, oh, your mom's not the same name as my mom, so I can kill you now. So here's what I would change with this ending. I actually think it would have been better had Elizabeth Banks like thought was going to kill him and then dropped it and said no, like I will always love you, and she decided she's still going to she's just going to lean into evil kid now.
Okay,
I agree. Would have been better than her pathetic attempt at killing.
It was.
That was so lame.
Because I think her turn on when she's like, oh no, he's evil, we got to stop him. It came so late and after so much that it was just not fully really believable. Like it almost betrayed her character of where she's like, he's just my little boy. He's always my little boy.
The dad was more consistent in his distrust of the kid, which made sense when he tried to kill him.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that she was stubborn about wanting to like being in denial about it. I think there should have been a thought where she's thinking about it, but she goes,
nah.
And then he could still, kill her. He could not. It doesn't really matter. But I still think that probably would have been a better ending.
Yeah,
at least for her character.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, your overall thoughts about the ending, Taylor?
I thought it was fine. I thought her attempt at killing him was pretty lame, but I thought I don't know. I thought all the like wreckage that he caused was pretty impressive for the most part. And most of the visuals in this film were pretty impressive, except one in particular that stood out, but which was actually during the dream sequence that I really enjoyed, where they had a literal baby doll though that looked like a doll. Like, ugh.
It was American Sniper-esque. But
the ending was quite good. I thought the ending was good. I was a little confused when we saw the plane, but then when they saw the wreckage, and I actually liked that because I think what's more frightening is not like if he just went on a rampage and started killing everyone, which he totally could, was the fact that like people will take him in again and like he's just infiltrating all these people, but we know he's awful. Like he's this evil thing that can beat anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
kind of didn't like it, like how you were saying.
No.
First of all, so for the plane, did he like go underneath it and then like just throw it down?
No, he just let it run it through him.
But then it would have fallen like a million. It went right on their house. Like really,
you don't think he could have just picked it up and rearranged some things?
Maybe. I don't know.
Where are all the bodies, Nate?
Yeah, I don't know.
I will say it felt not quite believable, especially the gap between you seeing the plane and then seeing all the wreckage was kind of like,
Yeah, they really glossed over the end pretty quick.
I was willing.
It was a short movie, but yeah.
All right, well, guys, listen. Your adopted child is decided the Earth is his.
Take the Earth.
What can you do?
Take the Earth.
But you know what, guys? It could be worse.
Could be worse.
Not that bad.
For me, it's all about perspective.
It's what you make of it.
Nate, tell me.
Could it be worse?
Well, tell me. How do you could this be worse?
How could this be worse? This is pretty. I mean, the kid could be better at killing people. He's kind of like he could learn faster. So
I mean, he could have just gone and just blown up the whole planet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not really sure what him standing on a mountain of bodies is really getting him at the end of the day.
Yeah. He's supposed to rule the Earth? I think is the whatever the light up spaceship was telling him. I think it's rule the Earth. Right?
Yeah, and I'm confused about how the wasp metaphor actually plays out because I'm like, the wasps don't kill everything else, or do they? Like, what would be the purpose of
I think
that?
it was the bullying wasp that he mentioned. They get the other wasps to raise their young.
Yeah.
And that's what this species or whatever does. They get them to raise them until they're old enough to then get triggered to then take over.
But then what's the goal? Like, that's what I was confused
I don't
about
know.
is what's actually the end goal here?
Brightburn is like a 17-part movie series. It's like Left Behind.
Oh God!
You just get like then the Antichrist / Brandon triggers this thing to happen. Then the United Nations. I don't know. Who knows what's happening?
Taylor, how could this be worse for anyone?
You could be the girlfriend of that guy. Like, you're my girlfriend. Like, I guess I have to be now. I don't know. That would suck.
That would be awful.
Like, I guess we're doing Valentine's Day this year. Okay, I guess we have to. So.
Oh, great! Thanks for this bouquet of organs you've brought me.
Wow, they're so red. Red's the color of Valentine's, right?
Yeah. Is that how it'd be worse for you? Someone brings you a bouquet of organs.
I mean, that would be pretty dang terrible. I would not accept that.
I have another one. Can I just go another one?
Sure.
What if he's like, I have something to show you, and then shows his mom her mom being gutted to her?
That would be horrible.
That would be like I mean, she's already like her hands destroyed. She knows her mom's dead.
Well, yeah,
she
I don't
can't
know.
Even talk,
does she
and then
have
she has to see it.
Does she have a dad? Is she orphaned now? I mean, I guess it could be worse if he kills her dad too.
I don't know.
I'm just realizing more and more plot holes though as we're talking. He left the aunt alive, and she knows what he is.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen? I don't know. I mean, obviously he can just kill her, but like,
what was it like?
I don't know.
She was killed returning to her home planet, like off screen. It's like, all right, it's over. Yeah, she would be like, it's him. It's like really obviously him. Like,
yeah.
So
I think the one thing I kind of couldn't tell at the beginning with the spaceship that it was like metal.
No.
And
I was thinking of it as like a womb. Like a creepy
That's
kind of
what I was thinking about.
But
also,
then it didn't look like it up close. But I think that would be worse. Is you find this creepy baby in this alien womb thing, and then you're like, yeah, I'll still take it in.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it could be worse, and along that vein, it's a womb, but it's also a teleporting womb, so they can send more Brightburns.
I see. Okay. Yeah,
if there were more of them, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, you need the Batman in this sequel to like flesh out his weakness. He spends all this money. He's got like a channel machine, like Ocean's 11. Goes underneath, finds the shard, and then like attacks him.
Sorry, we did read it, but the end credits with they're playing Billie Eilish as bad guy.
Yeah,
great track selection. I also would have appreciated had they gone Dawn of the Dead and put Down with the Sickness as well.
Yeah.
Both would have played very well over this cutscene.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Foo Fighters Learn to Fly.
My Hero.
Oh,
back to back.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. All right. So anyway, sorry. Yeah. So that's how I think it would be worse if more of them were coming.
That's a good one. No. That would be terrible.
Yeah, they have like maybe they just have like sparse resource. It's like this is like Prometheus. Hold on a second. This is basically Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
They send one dude and one ship, except he's already fully grown. They make the life to then and then the aliens hijack it, and then it's all aliens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nate, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Superhero horror movie. So there's not many of those. But I mean, could it
be
any other genre?
I mean, not only could it has to be, because this is one of the segments that we have on the show, Mitch. So
No.
Yes. Yes. Basically every week. So let's imagine Brightburn. So it's a coming of age superhero origin horror
Serial killer movie, yeah.
Yeah. Let's imagine that as Brightburn, the Broadway musical.
We're doing a musical again.
Yeah,
All right.
but Broadway. I don't know why I put two different musical categories in there. We've hit both.
Oh. Okay, so Broadway musical. So big production, I think.
There's a song called I Am Superior. That's a song. Where's the Wasp song? No. He sings a country love song called You Stung My Heart to that girl.
God.
Ew.
Yes.
Ew.
There could be a song called Jawbreaker.
Oh, that's a good one. It's not just about the organs. This is terrible. Elizabeth Banks can sing, right?
Yeah.
You still cast her?
Oh man, you could actually bring Pitch Perfect folks up.
That's what I'm saying. You just get the Pitch
Anna
Perfect.
Kendrick showing up.
Anna Kendrick. Ow, my hand.
They can actually make the flying probably pretty cool on Broadway. Like just having
yeah?
artists the whole
Okay,
time,
yeah,
having
yeah.
flying around.
Oh god, that's how we're gonna stop this kid. He's gonna get injured like that Spider-Man musical.
Injured. Someone died. I don't think it was injured.
Oh,
I think
that's
they
fair.
died.
No.
Yeah, a lot of people got injured and one at least died.
This retroactively also makes your Spider-Man pick earlier terrible now. It's terrible on both ends of the podcast. I just want to throw that out there.
I mean, do so much of the musical. So
Michael Rooker could be.
who's composing this musical? I mean, is Andrew Lloyd Webber still around? I don't know.
I mean, let's get the Lin-Manuel Miranda guy or whatever.
So it's gonna be like a rap.
Yeah.
See, I picture it more like Sweeney Todd.
I just picture it more like the Wizard of Oz, Andrew Lloyd Webber version. Because he's out in the country. He can reuse the sets. It's all just like hay and tractors in the background. Yeah.
So there would be normal dialogue and all that too.
Yeah, I think so.
It wouldn't be like Les Mis where it's just all singing.
You don't think it'd be sung through? I think I'd like to see it sung
The
through.
whole thing.
Yeah.
You wait till after the show for It's Not Just the Organs reprise. And then you wait for that.
You should never adopt a baby from the woods. You just can't I don't know. There's a lot you can do with that.
Everyone has forks. Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
Forks.
Christ. All
That would
right.
work, yeah.
All right. Well,
Hold on. What is the musical called?
Forks.
No. Is it still called Brightburn?
No. Well, it'd be
I
Brightburn
would
the
say yes,
musical.
but
To be fair, I'm not really a fan of the name Brightburn.
really, I
No.
think it's a good title.
You think so?
Yeah.
What burns bright there? Like the
Spaceship.
God.
Well,
No, I don't know.
The
I didn't think
town's
it-
called Brightburn.
Yeah, the
No,
town
I
is
know.
called Brightburn.
What is burning bright in this town?
Well, the building is being set on fire by this dude.
Well, it was more of a collapsing than a fire.
No, I mean, smoldering. It's a medium
Wait,
burn.
what would you have called it?
That's what that's what I'm thinking. Do we keep it called? Does it stay Brightburn the musical?
Well, it's that or Murder Alien Baby. I mean,
Murder Alien? I like
Alien
that better.
Murder Baby.
I like that better.
There you go. All right. Well, the musical. Like Cats.
Sure.
Wasp the musical.
Sure.
Yeah, Wasp.
Something wasp based. I think I'd be down for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Wasp to
Well,
To go.
that's for the next episode.
All right. Well, I think that's going to bring us quickly to our final segment, the final cut.
Final cut.
What do you give this movie? You've had what, 24 hours to think about it?
Yeah, I think I'm sticking. So this is what I was thinking coming in. I think I'm sticking with it because there are some things I enjoyed about this film. I think there were some things that worked really well. There's a lot of plot holes though, and there's a lot of, I don't know, just some things that were like, just felt off. So I'm gonna give it a 5 because I didn't not like it, but I also didn't love it.
Yeah.
But it was good, intriguing concept. Glad I saw it, I guess.
I guess.
It's a 5. It's a meh.
Yeah, I am right there with you. I give it 5 out of 10 stashed organ pictures under the mattress.
There's more than that.
There's plenty more.
5 is underselling it here.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I did like a lot of like the gore and the action scenes. I'm usually not a big gore fan unless it's like the over the top grindhouse kind, but I thought it was well done, was creepy. I thought it executed well. What I think it didn't do very well was really paint the right whatever they were trying to get you to focus on or think about. Didn't work. I don't think I think they tried to do too much almost. Like I'm sure they probably pitched it as, oh, it's Superman and he's fucking evil. But then really the movie was, I mean, where they should have spent more of their time is really on Elizabeth Banks and it being more of a, what do you do if you think your kid is a serial killer?
Yeah.
I mean, that's effectively what he is. He's a serial killer with superpowers.
This is we need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. And frankly, if that's the movie you wanted, then I'd watch The Good Son because that's a much better version of the movie.
Are we going to review The Good Son now?
We probably should. It's the same fucking movie, but better. I mean,
let's review The Good Son.
And Macaulay Culkin, who's really leaning into his evil supervillain role. Like it probably fits in the Home Alone universe.
Oh, this is 100% in the Home Alone.
The Home Alone-averse.
Yeah.
So I agree. I give it 5 out of 10 Oregon pictures. The Oregon Trail.
The Oregon. Oh,
that could have been the musical name.
The Oregon Trail. There we go. See.
All right, Nate.
There's got to be a throwaway dysentery line somewhere in that. The Oregon Trail. See, that's great. What you said. So the kills were. I think the setups for the kills and the execution of those for some of them were great.
Yeah.
Like really good, very memorable. The jaw falling off is like that's almost instant classic level. That was actually ridiculous. I think, but in between those things, I just didn't care enough about the story.
Sure.
But getting to that next like sequence was cool. The end, I thought him going through the house, I almost didn't care very much. And then I was let down, as you say, a little bit by the ending. But it's intriguing that the kid at the end is out there just like staying in his small area town, but like demolishing buildings and murdering people.
Well,
like he didn't even go anywhere else. He's like still in this like the same town. That town has like office buildings. It didn't seem like it was that big, but
Nate, you can take the kid out of the small town, but you can't take the murder out of the small kid's heart.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really wordy. And you know what that kid would say in answer to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okayville.
Okay.
That's what you call the musical. All right.
Christ. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap.
No, wait. I didn't give my rating.
I'm sorry.
How
Jesus.
dare you?
I assumed you
How
did.
dare you?
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, there's a flashing light in the background. I'm just gonna no, but yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Jaw drops.
Okay. I like it.
The kills were like awesome. There were some great sequences, but the story really underwhelmed me. So I think it's knocked for that.
Well, there you go. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com. If you have better movies to recommend us than Brightburn, email us as you guys have been doing. We appreciate it at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. You can find us on our Facebook group. You can find us on Instagram and all your other podcast platforms. And if you want to be really nice, you can give us a review on iTunes. And you can put the hashtag Team Lisa on there if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. We would truly love to see Team Lisa really proliferating our iTunes reviews. I mean,
the more Team Lisas we get, the more non-horror films we will do.
Yeah. And we got a list of them that we think will be good, but we got to save them for special occasions.
Yeah. Lisa's birthday. the Equinox.
Basically, whenever we're contractually obligated to do one of those.
Yeah, it's like, wait, is Lisa going to quit the podcast? Okay, let's throw like a non-horror film in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that is going to wrap it up. Taylor, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. We'll see you, I guess.
Welcome back. Bye.
Yeah, weird sign off.
Okay. well, thank you for joining us for this one.
Always a pleasure.
And yeah, for all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, just thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.